In here, we pour whiskey, 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 whiskey.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Whiskey Ginger. My guest today is one of my favorite people on earth. I say that for all my guests, but I mean it once again today. It's the return of Marc Maron. The last time you were on the show, which was many, many years ago, the numbers...
Weren't we doing it in a bathroom or somewhere?
We
like
did it in my bathroom.
Weird. What was that storefront thing? I like the way you guys move up in studios. That place was like hot.
Yeah, but this is still gross.
Nice.
It's
Not
nicer,
really.
but it's gross.
I like all of you have pictures of yourselves in many different ways. I just did Sicklers.
You know
I
why?
drove out to fucking Culver City.
You know why we have photos of ourselves? I just want to remember who I am. When I walk in here, this is like an ego
Is
inflator.
it fan art?
This is all fan art.
Yeah,
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 it's
yeah.
all fan made.
Yeah.
This was incredible. Ted Munns made that years ago, and that was one of my favorite things I ever saw.
That's great.
And as they shipped it, what do you
Broke.
think happened to that? Yeah, of course it broke.
The tiles fell out.
Yeah, tiles cracked.
Yeah.
I have it on video. I think we played it years ago. I have the video of the UPS guy throwing it on the ground.
Really?
Fragile all over, like fragile wrap, like 10 different ways. I have a video of him delivering it, tossing it.
You know, sometimes you build up resentment in a job. Either you're going to spit on a sandwich or you're going to set the box down a little heavier than it should.
I don't blame the guy, but I knew him and he was cool.
Well, yeah, he's your guy.
He was my guy.
You know what I used to do with my guy, my FedEx guy, when they were delivering all that liquid death for a while, I couldn't even drink it all. I'm like, take a couple cases.
He's like,
and I'm good with that
I don't
guy.
want it.
No, he took it.
Oh, he did?
Sure.
He liked it?
Yeah.
No, my new Amazon guy is very cool.
At your house?
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
They do all right at my house. I haven't had any problems with them. How the fuck do we need so much shit?
Yeah, we're buying too much shit.
I don't need, but it's so easy. And every day it's like a goddamn box party over there.
Yeah, what do we need?
And
Everything.
But I don't do any shopping. Now I tried to go out into the brick and mortar world, buy stuff.
It's impossible.
It is.
What's there? Nothing. If I need a knick-knack, okay, how about this? I try.
Knick-knack.
If I need knick-knacks, like if I need a...
Oh, you mean knick-knack?
Like
I thought it was a different type of pouch.
There is a new pouch called knick-knack.
I
It's
know, but
actually
they're
fantastic.
lozenges.
They're lozenges.
They're candies. They go way too fast.
I love them, though.
You do?
I chew them.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
They
can
go
you ever
away
finish
so-
a Tic Tac without biting into it?
No.
That's
but
impossible.
But the guys from Knick-Knack, I bought some. They're all natural.
They are. No, those are really good, but they
Like-
only sell them in a few places here in the valley.
I don't even know what is in these. really.
Fiberglass, they just found out.
Is that true?
Google this. Zinni's got caught putting in, it's either microplastics or fiberglass are in Zinn's now. Which one is it? One of the two good ones. But I mean, you're from an age where you were inhaling fiberglass
Sure,
your
man.
whole life.
Asbestos. I'm an asbestos baby.
Isn't that kind of rad to think about? No. Yeah.
It contains nicotine salt, but it can crystallize and appear to be small glass fragments. But
Right,
it's
that-
not. It's just nicotine
But
salt.
didn't they just
yeah,
go
but
through
that's
a
a lie
test?
because they used to do it in the dip to
Yeah.
cut the gum.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
slice you up so it gets in your bloodstream.
Yeah.
Love it, dude.
Well, microplastics are in everything, so they're probably in Zinn's too.
Here it goes.
I think I'm self-generating microplastics at this
You're
point.
pushing them out to the world?
Yeah, small factory of microplastics. My body's now turned on me, and it's manufacturing microplastics.
Your body's the best it's ever been. I will say you're in the best shape I think I've ever seen you in.
It's hurting me.
No chance.
Huh?
You're doing this for the show, but I know you're in great shape and you feel great when you wake up.
I feel horrible when I wake up.
Why?
I
No
feel
more
like,
chemicals?
Did you ever see North Dallas 40? With Nick Nolte, where he's a football player and he gets up and there's like a full 2 minutes of him just cracking shit. And
That's you?
Bending. Well, I feel a little beat up when I do a good
Yeah.
workout.
That is a
How
generation
much do you
that
work out?
I work out 3 days a week.
Right.
If
Right.
I'm lucky.
Cardio?
I got a row machine. I row now.
At home?
Yeah.
That's the saddest thing
He
I've ever
brought
heard.
it to my house.
That's so sad.
Honestly,
You just rowing in your house?
It's so nice.
No, I'm sure.
It's
but
got a
like-
TV on it, and I can watch whatever I want. You can put on a show, or you can do one of the like a hot dude being like, "Come on, dude, let's do it."
Yeah.
that
you like
guy's
that
on
one?
there
Do you stop and...
once in a while. I slide in and out. It is so funny. My wife was like, "Which instructor are you going to pick?" I'm like, "None of the girls."
Yeah.
I don't want to be like turned on. I don't want to have
Right.
like a boner while I row.
Yeah.
And then these beautiful women. I want a hot, cool guy.
Sure.
Who I wish I could be, a hot, young, black, jack,
And then you
28-year-old.
just push back the feelings of the...
Shove it down. Way down.
That's not happening.
No.
It's not happening.
No way, dude. We're just getting strong together, brother. I'm rowing at the house because because going to the gym is a fucking nightmare.
I don't know. I like it.
Me no gym.
Because the Equinox is 5 minutes from my house.
Well, if it's close.
But I just like looking at people. I like, it distracts me. I like looking at the ladies.
I can't do it.
You can't?
I get turned off, but I don't like big groups of people anyway, like being in a room with a lot of people.
Really? It's a good job you picked.
And then and then I get nervous about working out in public because people go to the gym and some people it's their existence. And I'm doing it wrong. I know I'm doing things not the right. I just don't want to be I don't want people to see me working out.
I work out in a small I have a trainer lady.
Oh, dude. See,
Yeah.
this I can't do.
You can't?
Taking direction? You of all people, you're so anti-authority. You can have someone tell you what to do?
No, it gets me to do it.
Well, just,
because
yeah.
like if I don't, she at least mixes it up. I just do full body shit. I'm not like today's legs. I mean, I do a whole thing, each day. I'm not looking to get ripped. I'm just looking to be good.
Just be normal.
Yeah, or just be like fit.
Just because I'm ignorant to it, I mean this.
Yeah.
I'm not fishing. What does that cost to have a person do that? I'm being genuine.
That's a good question.
I've never had a
That's a good question.
trainer
and
thing.
I'd have to talk to my business manager.
Woof.
I'm kidding.
I told you,
It's
dude.
a
I
buck and a
told you.
half, dude.
That's it?
Yeah.
So $150 for an hour.
Yeah.
Now, do you have to tip these people too?
No.
It's a flat.
No,
Because it's a service.
it's a service.
But of all services now, you have to tip on every service. So
no,
I feel like
no. Because you know them eventually. And we do, I'll do 10 at a time so it doesn't feel, because I don't like to spend $1.50 on anything. Like even therapy, I'm back in therapy.
it's $100 an hour, right?
More. Yeah, and I'm like, because there's no way, if you're like me, I'm not cheap, but I'm not used to, I don't love spending money. But like, you're sort of like, do I really need this for this amount of money? I just talked to this guy and I felt like, I don't know if we got a lot done. It was nice talking to him.
How do you find a new therapist?
I ran into
Let's
my
cut
old...
to a BetterHelp ad real fast.
Yeah, do it.
No.
I ran into my old therapist, and who got me through the relationship with the borderline lady. And he was at a show I did because he knows some guys I know, and I hadn't seen him in a long time and didn't even think about it. And I saw him. I'm like, I think I need some help. I got some obstacles.
Got to come back.
I just got to. For me, I get stuck in shit, and I can't get out of it in my head.
Yeah.
And I know there's everything pointing to the right thing to do, but there's just one thing that holds me back, and I need him to,
What's the obstacle now?
Well, just kind of moving on with the, letting go of the podcast, changing my life a little bit, and just like I get stuck in these. We all the same people all the time. We all have our patterns, but after a while, you're like, "Fuck this." How do I get out of this one?
Yeah.
You don't have that?
I do, but I sadly use work to escape it.
Well, so you don't deal with it; you just avoid it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm old now. How old are you?
41.
Yeah, I'm 61.
Are you?
Yeah. So it's sort of like, I better fix this shit soon if I'm going to have a good time.
But see, I figure you're past fixing it. It's
I
almost
think-
like that piece of that house. It's just let it fall.
Well, I think that's with physical stuff. But with the mental stuff, what's weird is because so much of how we think generates what we do,
Yeah.
right? So there is a point where you're like, can I let that go and believe that I'm going to be okay? Make different choices? Like when I grew up, I didn't work out all the time. Like today, I went to the fucking gym just to do cardio. And that's not my nature. Like, because I get up and I'm like, I don't want to fucking do anything. I got to drive to Culver City for what?
For what?
So it was fun. But he says hi.
I love that cat. It is fun.
He's a good
when
guy.
you do it, it's fun.
Well, yeah, but the gym wasn't. But going to Culver City to do Ryan's show that was fun.
Well, what's the
but the
perfect day then?
gym? It's like every part of me doesn't want to do it, but all of a sudden I'm like, well, I got the shorts on. This is happening outside myself.
you might
Not
as
these
well.
ones, different shorts.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm there and I'm doing it, but I don't love it.
No, but you have to. It's a part of, you're
Right.
supposed to.
That's a good thing.
Okay,
but there
so-
are things that I do with my brain that I don't have to do.
Ah, yes.
Like I don't like to be filled with dread and panic about everything all the fucking time. You know what it takes for me just to let my brain not be like, oh shit, we don't have anything to do.
No.
No, I did a joke about that once. I did it on Fallon where like I would wake up. Literally, it's like, oh fuck, I got it, and then you're like, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything, but I have to push back that thing all the time.
What do you think that's from? Don't say being Jewish, because that's
No, you just said it. I don't even know. Why would you bring that up? Is that a Jewish thing?
100%.
I don't think so.
You know one Jewish person that isn't filled with anxiety?
Well, anxiety is different. This is an urgency thing, but it's a type of anxiety.
Sorry, urgent anxiety.
Yeah, there's a couple Jews that I think aren't filled with anxiety.
Give me one.
James Caan wasn't filled with anxiety.
He's dead.
I know.
And yes, he was. I know his son very well. You're wrong.
His son's a little filled with anxiety. I guess. Who, Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It generationally gets passed down. If you don't deal with your anxiety.
Generationally, if that's your dad, you're going to be walking around going, oh, God, what's he going to say?
Did I screw up?
Oh, is he mad?
That's true. That is actually very true. What is the perfect Maron day then? Mark wakes up and what's Maron's perfect day? Literally front to back.
I love, I've been, I like the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
The first, I pulled out an old espresso machine. I'm doing that, trying to get the perfect
Did you go to drip for a while?
No, I've been on drip. Don't do drip. I do cone, but not pour over cone, not gay.
That's no. It's right. It is. It is very
I just pour it right in. That's just what I use.
Sure.
Is a cone.
Sure.
And I make it pretty strong, and I've been getting coffee from the same company forever. I haven't had to buy coffee or soap in over a decade.
What, they just give it to you for free?
Well, they were one of my first sponsors when I did a streaming show before streaming was possible.
Who is it? Do I know who it is?
JustCoffee.coop.
JustCoffee.coop.
And I used to do ads when we first started the podcast, when we came out of the Air America streaming show. They were our only sponsor. They'd give us $400 a month and send us coffee, and we were just in it for the coffee.
Pretty cool.
So when we started the podcast, when there was no way to make money, I just carried them over, and it had a much bigger audience. And I developed this catchphrase for them. It was like I'd take a sip and I'd go, "Pow! I just shit my pants." JustCoffee.coop, and they were like, we got emails from them. And they were like, "We don't love it, but it's doing a lot for our business."
We appreciate it. It's terrible, but it is working.
We built their online business, and they've been
sending
me coffee forever.
That's a marketing ploy that a marketing team could never strategize.
Of course not.
Yeah, you're right.
People loved it. Pow! I just shit my pants. JustCoffee.coop.
Full pot. Would
sure.
you drink a full pot?
I do. I generally do the 6 cups. Of a pot, and I go through that.
God.
A perfect day for me, dude. Really, it's just doing little shit. Like even getting. I have this old espresso machine. It's a DeLonghi. It's a pretty good brand.
Those are good.
But I got it years ago for on sale at Macy's for $100. And this thing is a cheapo espresso machine, but it does the crema. It does the thing with the little foam on top.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got lucky. But it's not all the time. So now I got this grinder that has these special espresso settings. So now a good morning for me is making it. And if the crema doesn't happen, go, "Duh, fuck." But I have the grinder. So I got to try again until I get it. So I'm trying to get the measurements right. And that's pretty exciting morning.
That takes a couple hours.
Sure, man. Well, not a couple hours. And then what else do I like to do? I like to cook. That's nice.
You going to cook a full breakfast? You're not a breakfast guy.
No, what I'll do is because the vegan thing, I do this old school soy milk, Eden soy, and I'll make oatmeal, and I'll cook it blueberries, some flaxseed, ground flaxseed, and I have this. I grind down all these different kinds of nuts for the omegas and put that in. So yeah, it's a pretty full breakfast. Takes a lot of.
Can you convince me to be vegan right now?
I don't know. It just depends how you feel or what you want.
Here's my thing. I like eating meat,
but
I don't care.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I love it. I've had a lot of it.
I've eaten all the meat I need to eat.
That's kind of how I feel. I've always said, Neil, when Brennan and I would go out to eat, because he would take me to veg places, not vegan, but vegetarian.
Yeah.
And that I can do.
It's funny. It's weird I used to do a line where I said, being a vegan is an ideological eating disorder.
It is. That is true. It really is, dude. It is.
So you look at Neil, and I wouldn't say he's a great poster child for anything. And he'll take that.
Great joke writing. Great joke writing.
Yeah, meticulous.
Yeah, he's a joke. So maybe
to the point where you're like, I hope he doesn't fuck up a word because he could spiral out. I like Neil, and I know that everything I just said, there will be no way for him to let that roll off him.
He's going to hate you for that.
Oh my God!
And
I'm going to have to pay.
Not when you smile. The disposition is now different. 10 years ago, if you said that, it'd been different.
Brendan was the only guy. It was funny. I've known him since he was a kid. Literally since he was a kid. I started comedy with his fucking brother
in New York, right?
Yeah, with Kevin. But Brennan did my show once, did WTF, and he didn't. He said, "You can't put that out there," and I'm like, "Why?" And he said, I don't think you treated me with the proper respect that I deserve at this point in my life.
Oh, wow.
And you know what? He was right. he was right. Because when I was in New York, he was this droopy little fucking kid with long hair who would hang around, hand out flyers, wasn't even doing comedy, just was around. And, he's getting to be buddies with Chappelle. But I always see him as that fucking little door kid handing out flyers in fucking New York. So
Barking.
I have that attitude. I'm like, so what do you have to go get your fucking shine box?
Right.
But he was right. And it did change our relationship.
I don't shine shoes no more. And then that's what ends up happening, dude. No, I know what you mean, though. It is hard. It's hard. I think that's the same way. And I'm not taking a shot. But I think that's the same way Burr sees me sometimes, like very little brothery. He was always very nice to me when I was a young comic. But even now, I think he still sees me as that 26-year-old guy or whatever. I think it's just hard.
Like, not to be, and this isn't, I think what I said about Neil is funny and it's true and it worked out and we're friends,
Yeah, you're fine.
But with Burr, it's sort of like, there are certain dudes I've known over the years where it's just sort of like, I'm not going to be able to talk here.
You're not going to get much out.
Nah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You're just going to wait it out. And you're all right? Yeah, I'm good.
Some guys hold the room. He holds the room.
Yeah, but there's a intensity to it. It's not just holding it like, I love this story. You're like, is he mad?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. No, that's how I never feel. That's what I'm saying. I think he looks at me as the young comic he knew. And then sometimes I think he fucking hates me or he likes me so much he doesn't.
Him and I have had issues at times.
Yeah.
Where like we've had real fights.
But you're very similar. That's the funniest part.
But like a lot of people put things on me that aren't there because I'm just different.
Sure.
They're like, whether I'm liberal or whatever it is, which I am.
Mm-hmm.
But like these fights will happen. There was one in the main room, dressing room, and Jeselnik was there and somebody else was there. And Bill was just, yelling at me about due process, with a Me Too guy.
Okay.
And I'm like, he's yelling at me. He's like, there's no due process. And I'm like, but him. He's like, yeah, but fuck that. There's no, and it was like uncomfortable. And the thing is with me, I'm not going to get in a fist fight, but I'm going to stand my ground.
Sure.
And take the shot.
Right.
If someone's going to hit me, they're going to hit me. I'm not going to start it, but I'm not going to run off. So now I'm in this thing with Burr where I'm like, what am I going to walk out of the room? I can't walk out of the room. I'm going to have to fucking just be in this.
Yeah, handle it.
And, Jeselnik is like it's one of those moments where mom and dad are fighting and no one knows what. And then like 2 minutes later, one of them comes in, he's like, can I get a picture? And I'm like, with Van or whoever. And Burr's like, he's like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe I should, believe the women occasionally. And I'm like, all right, well, so that was totally unnecessary. And now it's gonna be weird for at least a couple of weeks, even if you apologize right after. What are you, my dad? You're gonna yell and I'm gonna cry, and then you're gonna come into my bedroom before I go to sleep. I'm like, yeah, you're all right, right? I'm sorry. I'm like,
I've lived that.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, I guess I'm okay, but that still happened. You fuck.
What does it go back to? People are complicated.
Totally.
That's the thing. We're all fucking fucked up, especially because this is a nightmare career, and it's genuinely going to make you the worst version of yourself sometimes.
I think I think what it is really is that none of us could function in real life.
No, we try.
And some of us for a little while when we were younger. So, that's what bothers me about generational issues in comedy. It's like this was a business where we could all decide our own shit and do it the way we wanted to do and have our own voice, have our own style, and do the thing that made us, because we couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
And we wanted to do this, and we're all unique. But back in the day, it's like half of them were borderline outlaws. Yeah. I mean, they were like fucking criminals.
Yeah.
And they're just getting away with something. I worked with guys that wouldn't want to be in the paper because they didn't want to pay their taxes. And they were afraid they were going to get caught. That's crazy.
That's real shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on some level, it's like preaching or anything else. It's like, how do I get away with something? But, we're artists, and I get all that. But it bothers me now that there is a way to own yourself in this business. And by doing 5-minute Crowdwork videos where you're just asking people how long they've been together, like a moron could do that. So how do you develop your voice?
Yeah.
I mean, we used to be about like you're trying to figure out who you are up there. Now it's just sort of like, I just want to get people to come see me, talk to them.
I want people to see me talk.
But
Which
that's
is
different.
That is how it boils
That's
down.
different. I want people to come see me talk is different than I want people to come see me talk to them.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the hardest part, and people want it now. Whenever I travel now, they really want to be a part of the show.
But
And it's not the audience's fault. That's all they've been shown now. So now they want to be a part of the show, and it's not their fault. They just see it and they think, this is what's going on.
To me, it was always like you had to know how to do crowd work to manage a fucking problem.
Right.
It wasn't like some good time.
No.
It was like, what's this fucking idiot doing?
Right.
And then you deal with it. You know, because like, you know, when you work at a club and they're like, when do you want us to step in? I'm like, I'll let you know.
You'll know.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'll be like, I've had enough. You're fucking out.
Right.
Yeah.
I've only had to kick out a few people, but it's been... I've let people go pretty far where I'm like, all right, man, you have... Especially because sometimes the people are like, sorry, man, I fucking just love you. And you're like,
Yeah,
I
oh,
know
yeah.
you do,
The
man, but
worst.
you got to cut it out. You got to cut it the fuck out.
Oh, no.
It drives
that
me
always
nuts.
happens. There's like...
They probably like you the most. That's the guy that yells the most.
Yeah, or like for me, what used to happen because my audience, they're usually grown-ups and pretty decent people, but they're so used to hearing me talk. Like I'd get people in the front row, and I'd be doing bits, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that happened to me." I'm like, "This is not, this is a planned thing."
Like you're on a bus together.
Yeah. Like
yeah, no, I know what that's like.
understand
Yeah.
that. Like you're right here, right?
But they probably love that. The funniest part when somebody goes, when I see an audience member that's like relatable, but not really laughing out loud, I know in my heart they're having the most fun because they're like, I relate to all this is great.
They really do.
I feel this
They really
way.
do, yeah.
They just don't know how to let it rip.
Usually my crowd work, generally because I can do it, and sometimes interesting things happen. The best thing that can happen to me in crowd work, because if I'm doing it, I'm angry.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Like, wait, would you shut up, drunkie? That's a favorite.
That's an old throwback.
Yeah, but what happens generally is I'm the funniest if I get handed my ass by the crowd, and that's really not your plan. But if I get mad at somebody and they're like, no, I was just, and then I'm all of a sudden like, all right, I'm sorry, and so that gets me into a good zone.
Yeah, that gets you. Well, with your crowd, huh? With his crowd, the crowd work is usually like, is that guy okay? Call an ambulance? Dude, I had a guy had a heart attack at Zany's. Did I tell you that story? A guy had a heart attack in the balcony at Zany's in Nashville.
I've had that happen and they don't tell me. Like they don't tell me till I'm out, after the show. Like they had to take someone to the hospital.
They just
I'm like,
quietly let the show happen?
Well, it happens somewhere in the back and it's handled. But then someone's like, yeah, someone had to be taken to the hospital. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like,
is he okay?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. I had to stop a show at the Comedy Store because someone went down.
In the OR or main?
In the main room. In the front, some guy just went over. And I'm like, all right, so when is this funny?
Right.
Yeah, how long do I wait?
When is it okay?
Yeah, because they're dealing with him. And he just passed out. And I'm like, so now I can bust your ball?
That's fine. If he just passes. Also, by the way, how anxiety inducing after a guy passes out and then you're like, all right, your next comic, Brad Williams. Like you have to bring out someone for that fucking
and then as
nightmare.
you're passing, like the guy,
That guy almost died.
They're working on him now. They're doing CPR.
They're working on him. They're calling. It's fine.
It's fine. Just it's just right stage right.
Just move the other side. Yeah, they had a guy in Zany's in the balcony, and I felt so bad. And then, of course, you got to like continue the show because at some point
it's interesting when you have to manage that stuff and come back from.
That's real crowd work. That was hard. That's an actual
that's
like.
Right, that's management.
I had to tease it a little bit.
That's why you need the tools.
Yeah, you need
shouldn't
that.
be your whole life.
Right.
Did I tell you that story about the bachelorette party? That was the best one.
What?
It was just a classic. I'm in Denver, and that's a hot room. It's the best.
Downtown
comedy works.
too.
It's almost like cheating.
It feels like a layup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it had been a while since I've been there. My crowd is specific, and usually I sell out because I'll do a bunch of shows there to work out shit. But it's my people, and they're nice people. And I get there, and I'm ready to perform for my crowd, and they're like, "There's a bachelorette party." I'm like, "God damn it!"
Yeah.
And I'm not a diva. I'm like, I don't want to fucking babysit them. I don't want to fucking deal with this shit because I got people that come to see me, and I got to fucking deal with the girl with the dick hat on for how long?
Yeah.
And I was kind of mad about it. I was like, and I'm not like this. I'm like, just keep an eye on them because I really, my people are here and I want to do a good show. But needless to say, after all that fucking divaing, right, I get out there. I'm like, what do you fucking need? What are we doing? And do all the jokes. Same cock for the rest of your life. Yeah, whatever. And I just fucking lay in heavy. And I'm like, are you good? Did you get what you needed out of this? Because I want to do the show now. And then at some point, I don't know why I didn't see it, but they kicked one of them out.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Saw that coming.
And after the show, it was a fine show. And after the show, I'm out front, and the bride comes up to me. And I'm like, everything all right? Did you guys have a good night? And she says, they kicked out my mom.
No way.
And I'm like, that's the best bachelorette party
That's
ever.
awesome. All these girls they're like, we're actually huge fans. My mom was the one that was.
Yeah. Like
and they're
that.
quiet the whole show. That's so funny. The oldest woman in there is like, show your cock, Maron. Mom, you're ruining this for us.
Oh, God.
Denver, I had a guy too high on mushrooms that needed to be excused. He actually voiced it, which I thought was pretty brave. He was in the front laughing, having like in that little front low bowl.
Yeah.
He was like losing his mind. Then he kind of was like freaking out a little bit. And I was like, are you okay, dude? Are you okay? And his buddy was like, dude, this is so fucked up on mushrooms. And I was like, do you want to walk outside for a little while? And he's like, is that cool? I was like, yeah, man, go ahead. It was so polite. Like, it was such a polite heckle removal.
Well, Denver, with the altitude and with the legal dope, with the pot, it's like fucking nuts.
Absurd.
I was there one weekend, and Doug Benson, did his 420 show in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
2 people had to be taken out with the ambulances.
Get too ripped. They get way too ripped. By the way, I did his show one time, and I had such a panic attack. I got so high on camera with him that I was like, I can never do that ever again.
No.
Because he's an expert. I'm not.
I don't know how he does it. There's some dudes like him and Proops that just live on the weed. And
I
Proops
can't
was
do
like
it.
back in the day in San Francisco, one time we had to do the Alex Bennett show. It was a morning show, and it was, comics. And they do them at clubs or different locations in the morning, like 6 to 9,
Jesus.
live radio. And we were at Cobb's, the old Cobb's, and it was me and Proops and Warren Thomas, I think Matt Weinhold, the whole crew. He had a lot of comics on. And it's like, 6, 7 in the morning, and Proops is like, you want a guy? And I'm like, all right. Fuck yeah. I mean, whatever.
Why not?
I'm a comedian. It's my job. But it was before, but he always got the really good dope. So I get high and I'm like incapacitated.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're in a live audience and there's a bunch of us up there and Greg knows I'm incapacitated. He's like, what do you think, Mark? And I'm like, I couldn't fucking talk. And then in the middle of it, he leans over, he goes, I invented you.
What the fuck? That's so good.
It was good.
Diabolical. Just to get deep inside of your little brain.
Yeah, you're a little like that, aren't you?
Yeah, I like to get to your brain.
Oh my God.
I like to dig deep inside that thing and see what's really
One time,
going on.
I don't know, like if I was thinking about coming over here, like before we knew each other that well. Mm-hmm. Well, you got me back on nicotine, but I enjoy telling that story because I volunteered.
That was your fault, not mine. You
not
wanted
really.
it so bad.
I know, but I wasn't going to do it unless you pushed me over the top.
Mark and I got back in. I got
Is
Mark
it-
on
where's it,
nicotine again in Vancouver. I said, no, you said.
I've
you
been
said,
off nicotine for like 3 years.
You said, man, I'd really love
Cubans?
a cigar.
Because you can get Cubans.
And
up
I
there.
said, we can get them. And you go, no. And I go,
can't.
we can.
And then I said, if I do, within 2 weeks, I'll be up to 2 or 3 a day, and I'm just sitting on my porch sweating.
And you did.
And you're like, yeah, but. And I'm like, all right.
I would never do it with something that was like, if it was drugs or alcohol, no. But you said, man, I really miss having a cigar. And I said, it's a little pleasure.
This is that. That's the tone. I mean, what's the big deal?
I was like, it's a nice little pleasure. It's just a cigar.
Sure enough, I'm still on it.
But it didn't collapse your life. It probably added something to your life, didn't it?
I do like them.
Don't you love them?
Yeah, but like
At the end of a long day?
Why? That's another middle of the day. Why the end of a day? What kind of life are you living?
You know why I like the end of the day?
Why?
Sunset to me is like, it's like a, go ahead.
Yes.
It's like a little
sure,
signal.
but then
Go
2
ahead.
hours later, you're like, fuck, I got a spot at the store.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
In here, we pour whiskey.
This episode of Whiskey Ginger is brought to you by Squarespace. Talked about it a lot. I know you've heard it. It means a lot to me because I believe in them. It's a great company, man. This podcast is sponsored by people that we love, and we love Squarespace. They create beautiful sites, all right? It's the all-in-one website platform designed to help you stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, Squarespace gives you everything you need to claim your domain, showcase your offerings with a professional website, grow your brand, get paid, all in one place. I've talked about what I love the most about them. I think it's the analytics and the SEO tools. They help you show up more often, more frequently to people that need your business, service, art, or your rants. I don't care if you have a blog or you're selling something or you're scheduling clients. Squarespace got you covered. They have a video slot that you can feature videos, showcase what you're building on there. And the analytics help you connect with email campaigns to find out where people are who are viewing your products, where they live, who they are, and how you can connect more with your customers, your fans, your friends, or whoever else it is that you need to connect with. So check out squarespace.com/whiskey to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Use that code whiskey. Once again, squarespace.com/whiskey to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain, and use our code whiskey. Let them know we sent you. Man, it's hard to find a doctor or a dentist or a podiatrist or a orthopedic or whatever you're looking for. When I hurt my back, I needed to find an orthopedic surgeon, and I'm telling you, ZocDoc helped me out. ZocDoc is incredible. All in one place to find doctors for whatever you're looking for. They got it there. I'm telling you, it's a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment today. With ZocDoc, you can book in-network appointments with more than 100,000 doctors, every specialty. You name it, they got it. Your foot, your back, your nose, your ear, your head, whatever. Once you find the right doctor, you can see their actual appointment openings, choose a time slot that works for you, and book a visit instantly. 24 to 72 hours of booking. Typically, that's what happens. It's that fast. I got one same day. Thank you to ZocDoc. More often than not, you can grab one yourself. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/whiskey to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/whiskey. Once again, you're looking for a new doc, dentist, whatever, ZocDoc.com/whiskey is the place for you.
Ginger. I like gingers.
You like fucking with people. Yes,
I
you
do, but not like said. Like I'll do it differently.
Right.
Like I won't do it. Like it's not always on purpose. But
yeah,
I will cut it.
you're accidentally.
Well, it's just sort of like mine's in the spectrum of like you're gonna wear that shirt, not.
When I hear you do that stuff to people, when Mark says stuff, it's such a tiny little slight, and
It's slight. It's very.
but
slight.
but the problem with you when you say stuff like that, your demeanor's so serious that people are like, "Fuck, he means that," and that, it hurts. You're able to do that in a way that gets to people. Where,
But I try to just do it with people I know. Like
you do it sometimes people you don't know that well.
Well, I saw Fahim the other night, who I love, and I think he's hilarious.
He is.
And he was doing some produced main room show, and I watched for a few minutes, and I saw him in the hallway. I'm like, so you getting paid for that one, or?
See, that hurts. That hurts, dude. And you know what's so funny? Fahim will call me on the way home and be like, dude, Maron said some wild shit to me. It kind of fucked me up a little bit. You have the ability to do that. It drives me nuts. But I think this is the thing that's missing. That I love about the store was always this kind of competitive, fun, pokey. Now I don't feel that in the comedy world as much anymore because I feel like people are so individually out for themselves that no one's really paying attention to anybody else anymore, which is fine. It's the culture.
Still do.
You try. I mean, I just feel like the new young world is.
I just don't know them.
That's what I mean. Everything is flying by us.
But that's just age. It's
I know,
not
isn't
the
that
store.
fucked? What is what age did you feel like the next generation was coming up?
I never really noticed because I didn't come into my own till later. So that's the biggest problem is I didn't really put myself on the map till I was in my 40s. I was around and people knew me, and from Conan, and there was a generation of kids that knew me, but I wasn't like a big act. I was a comic. But after the podcast and stuff, and I'm hanging out with Kroll or Mulaney or even you and stuff, and because it was just all of a sudden I was seen as a guy. I thought, we're all in this together, and then all of a sudden, you're 41. Well, how the fuck did that happen? Yeah. I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
As I know there's other generations, but I thought we were all peers, which we are.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, Mulaney's yeah, I'm whatever he is, 40, and I'm how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
Because I didn't really become part of public, what would you call it? It's not a star, but a name that had some juice until I was in my 40s.
You really? No, it was before you were 40. You were in your late 30s, weren't you?
I started the podcast in 2009. So 63, 73, 83, 93, 2003. No, I was 45, 46, wow. Dude.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've been at it for years, dude.
You started when you were what, 19?
I started in college when I was 21, and then I didn't stick with it. And then when I got to the store in, I was 23.
What's the first check you got?
For comedy?
Yeah. I'm always interested in that because our generation, it's so funny. Guys now, young kids. The reason I ask is because young kids now, there's so much more of an ability to make a living in comedy than at least your age, probably more so. But my age, most of all my friends had day jobs. Fahim and I all had day jobs when we were working, and then you'd get off of a shitty day job because we had to pay bills, and then go do spots.
Yeah.
But now young kids, they can make money on the internet.
Yeah.
and then go do spots.
Yeah, and now
which
there's
was a
Venmo. I think it was
fucking
when I
dream.
was started. I think I might have made a little money for coming in second in that contest in '88 in Boston. But then I started working right after that, and it was like a big deal because like I paid my dues early on by doing one nighters. So it was like a 2-man show, half-hour opener, 45 close, all over the fucking New England region.
With who?
Who did I work with?
Yeah, who were you doing it with?
It's everybody.
Guys that I know.
Probably.
Are they still around? Some of them.
Well, there were all the guys that were from New England, and then there were guys who would come do the circuit because there was like 2 or 3 bookers that did all the one-nighting booking, and you do like bowling alleys, any place that could contract out a night of comedy. Some were better than others. Some were equipped for it. There were hotels, or you do the ballroom in the hotel or whatever. But they'd be weekly shows, for as long as they could last. But they were just contracted out. But there were a couple guys who came up from New York.
Who was the guy's name? The big promoter in Boston at the time. What's his name?
There's Lenny's brother, Mike Clack.
Yeah. Okay. Right. And
Mike
what was the
Clack.
other name that I know?
Downs, Paul Downs was the connection. I think
Who's
that was
the
his name.
Boston guy? That's
Barry Katz was a Boston guy.
Was he?
He booked. Yeah, Boston Comedy Company. I did a lot of work for Barry's
Blumenreich.
company.
Bill.
Blumenreich, but that was
was
before
later?
him. Yeah,
It was in the '90s.
Yeah, this was in the late '80s, early '90s. It was Barry, Mike, and the Comedy Connection, who I didn't work for, and Blumenreich is the Comedy Connection now, I think. But he
Owns it?
wasn't around.
Yeah.
But Mike Clark, he had a couple. One of the first gigs I did was at the Derby Pack. The Derby Pack.
What did a Derby Pack?
In Lowell, Massachusetts.
Lowell, Mass.
Which is like a beat-up little town where Kerouac came from. I opened for a guy named Chris Shino. And then one of the first gigs I did was at Captain Nick's, or no, was it?
Nick's Comedy Stop?
No, this was Captain, I think it was called Captain Nick's in Agunquit, Maine. And I was opening for Nick DiPaolo.
Oh, shit.
Before he was, really mad. He was mad at just normal stuff. Now
Right.
he's mad at bigger stuff.
Yeah, it gets bigger as time goes on.
Yeah. Like one of his jokes was, he goes into a sub place. He gets a tuna sub, and the guy goes, "You want mayonnaise on that?" He goes, "No, that would make it much more tasty and delicious. I would like it dry." Like it was like that. It was like small things.
Yeah.
Who are the names? Like all the Boston guys, all the McDonald's. You had George McDonald, Warren McDonald. You had Mike McDonald, who wasn't related to the other two. Dennis Leary was still kind of around. Don Gavin.
What about
Lenny Clark, Rich Seisler, Kenny Rogerson,
Bob
Bob
Marley? Was he around back then?
Bob who?
Bob Marley.
No, not quite. He makes a lot of money on Clean Comedy on Sirius. That's where he makes all his money.
But he's like an East Coast.
He's a regional guy, but he makes
yeah.
all his money because Sirius always needs Clean Comedy, and I think he makes like a lot of money off of Sound Exchange,
Just radio play. Yeah.
just from Sirius play from
God,
Clean.
That's crazy when you
That's
think about
also
that.
what saved Tom Rose's ass. Like, because Jack, the guy who was at Comedy Central Records and at Sirius, because Tom was, Jack said to him, he said, just make me a clean record just for Sirius. Because they have plenty of dirty shit.
Yeah.
But the clean channels, that's where guys, they need it. So Tom made a clean record and he makes like good money off it.
God, that's wild to think
Isn't that
about.
great?
Well, I mean, that was some of that formula is brilliant to think as time has gone on how much more clean comedy is coming back into the fold.
Yeah.
Because the Bargazzis of the world, look, Gaffigan.
Sure.
And there's
Regan.
There's a couple of
They
guys
were
that are
always
traditionally clean.
Seinfeld.
But Nate figured out too that was kind of always his. He was
It's
never
a
like
niche.
a dirty guy.
Yeah.
He was never
No,
filthy.
no.
So he's a smart writer, and so he just knew. Oh well, then why do I need to go down this other path?
But there was always an issue, dude. I mean, when I was coming up, because my heroes were filthy,
Same.
It was always like, don't go blue.
Yeah, don't go blue.
It was like, they were saying that to me all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck you.
Fuck you, dude. I'm gonna say whatever I want. That clip is my favorite clip of Eddie Murphy talking about when
The
Rodney being
best.
like,
He
"Oh
did.
no," it's so good.
It's the best. At
But
the
here's the
urinal,
funny thing: a
yeah.
guy like Rodney, you knew had all that dirty mouth talk in him. He just never did it up there, but he
No,
did it
because
off
he was old
stage.
school. Yeah, he was
Right.
buddies with Joe Ansis, who was Lenny Bruce's pal. They were selling aluminum siding. That's a good story, that whole Rodney story.
Yeah, it's incredible.
But-
You never worked with Sinatra ever, did you?
No, I'm not that old.
What do you mean not that old?
Sinatra?
Yeah, dude, he was still
Oh,
touring.
Rodney. I thought you said you never worked with Sinatra.
No.
No, Rodney was interesting because I remember, like, he was, like, he did, oddly, until a few years ago, and probably until, you know, Norm and other people, like he actually did not get the respect he deserved.
Fuck you. I felt
serious.
it. I felt it. I know. He did it.
Like
You're
he
right.
was one of the best.
He was one of the
And
greatest,
He just
yeah.
was not. I remember being in Aspen at the Comedies Festival, and they did a roast of him, and they had nobody up there.
Yeah.
Like nobody came in. It was like Paul Rodriguez and, you know, some other. But it was like how is this guy? Because he was a depressive, solitary guy.
Right.
You know, he didn't have a lot of friends. Like Richard Lewis loved him, and there's a great. Carl LeBeau told me a story about Kinison and Rodney that was hilarious. Because Kinison, you know, loved him because he had the Rodney, the young comedians, right?
Right.
But apparently it was like Kinison was on some sort of bender, and you know, Kinison was Kinison, and he'd been up in his Malibu house for days, you know, probably, you know, fucking yelling about a woman or something, and there's just blow everywhere, and there's empty bottles everywhere. The place looks like a 3-day bender looks, and no one knew what to do with Sam because he was like in a fucking spiral. So they're like, let's call Rodney. So they call Rodney, and apparently Rodney comes over, walks in, and looks at Sam and goes, "Look at little Nero."
But he respected him so much, I bet it kicks him into full gear when he
That's
sees a
right.
guy like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all you can do.
Yeah, yeah,
Because your
yeah,
peers, like you go say something, he's like, fuck you.
Yeah, right.
Well,
But
especially 'cause
Rodney meant
you
something.
were working for him, right? Or with him, whatever you want to call it.
Who?
With Kinison.
Oh, well, I was just at the store. I was
But you
just
know what
a
I mean?
door
Like,
guy.
but
yeah.
a door guy, he's going to be
No,
like, get
but this was, he
fucked."
couldn't listen to anybody. Yeah. But yeah, that was kind of a funny story. So the vegan thing.
Kick me back, yeah. How do I get into it? It's not that I want to. I'm just interested in trying stuff. I was veg for a couple of months just to try shit. Like I know as time has gone on, I'm like, I want to just try different
For
shit.
me, like my mother was anorexic, and I always had a profound fear of most things.
Sure.
Like cheese to me just looks like fat. It looks like a little cut in different colors,
That's
different
crazy.
consistency. It just looks
But
like
she
fat.
put that in your head all the time.
I guess, but it is kind of fat. Cheese.
It
Yeah.
literally is, yeah.
Yeah, and but I mean, I eat pizza and I used to eat pizza and a lot of meat and everything. For me, it was really just because, you know, I got in the colonoscopy.
Oh, shit.
And it was fine.
Okay.
But the thing is like my cholesterol is slightly borderline. Like it's not high, but it's like in that zone. And after I got the colonoscopy, I'm like, all right, clean slate. Let's just do it. You know, start over. There's nothing in you. Just do the vegan thing. See if you can get the numbers down. See if it makes a difference on the blood work.
Sure.
And it does, you know.
And it did.
It did. It wasn't like I was on a little bit of statin at the time, like 10, yeah. But I was only on 10 a day, 10 milligrams.
Me too.
And when I went vegan after 2 weeks, I got another blood test on the statin, and the LDL went from like 125 to like 80.
Wow.
So then I'm like, I'm going to do it without the statin. And then it actually got my blood work to a point where I didn't need statins anymore. It's right on the edge, but the ratio was good. And I really feel like I ate enough meat. And you get to a certain point. I was eating because I had the fucking Traeger that they'd given me for nothing.
So good.
Yeah, and I was doing those fucking bone-in ribeyes,
The
whole
best.
chickens.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, but there is a moment where you're looking at a bone-in ribeye and you're like, that's fucking nasty, dude.
This is gonna kill me.
Well, no, it's just like it's a chunk of a fucking animal.
Yeah, give me a leg.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And you can't separate it.
Right.
And it's not an ethical thing for me altogether, but it has become more so. But the idea of cooking to be vegan and, you know, managing the eating disorder like that, I was kind of into it. And I don't miss meat. You know, you do wonder if you're getting everything you need, but you can pick it up on the others.
You feel it with other stuff. Yeah, there's so many
can't
supplements
get
now.
B12 with the vegan. You got to
a pill.
you take a supplement and the omegas. But I don't know, I'm kind of into it, and I like cooking for it, and I like Indian food. You go on the road, and most places have at least vegan junk food, which I don't like. But it's gotten me into going to Ethiopian places.
Oh shit.
And I didn't really love Ethiopian food, but now if I'm on the road, Ethiopian, Indian, or Middle Eastern, it's fucking great.
See, Indian's one of my favorite. We have Indian I love
Indian
Indian food.
Where do you go?
So good. I'm
Where
not
do
going to say it on here to these people. They're going to hear it and know, and then they're going to come see me there.
Does the place need business though?
Yeah, they do.
Like I go to the one in Glendale. East India Cafe
oh,
is
East
what it's
India.
called.
Yeah, I've
It's
had that.
great.
That's fantastic.
And they do. It's almost like all vegan now. She's like so.
Is it
into
all vegan?
No, it's not all vegan, but they don't. They'll make the breads. You know, some of the breads are usually never vegan. You can only get roti. But she does paratha. She'll do naan, and they're using a different milk.
Vegan naan?
Yeah,
Take me there.
it's great,
I
man.
want to taste it.
Yeah,
Because I do love. I mean, honestly, like here's my thing about it.
Do you
right?
do you do the? Here's my my real test of like whether people really like Indian food. Do you do the achar? You know, the pickle. Oh, so you're pussy.
You like that shit?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Dude, it's heavy, man. I remember the first time I
don't
tried
like it, dude.
Way back, someone turned me on to Indian pickle, and the first time I put it in my mouth, I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
No, it's not my shit.
But then once you develop the taste for it, you're like, "Oh yeah."
So now you crave it?
Oh, I'll do it. Yeah,
You're-
I have it
I
at
don't-
home, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't love it. That's
Yeah,
not
like
my
the
favorite.
pickled limes and the weird mangoes. It's so intense and fucked up.
Well,
but
see,
I'll always get
see,
it.
no, I can't do it because I think it's not my flavor profile. I'm
But
obsessed
is it
with.
anybody's? Like, what is that flavor profile?
I mean, it tastes like
it's like you're eating something.
yeah, it's very.
It's salty and weird, and
It's like burnt salt, burnt
but there are
salt.
whole limes in there that are pickled.
I don't like that, dude.
Oh, dude.
That's you. I think you're liking it just for the props to be like, I'll eat that shit.
but
And people at the restaurant are like, holy
He
shit,
knows
this
what he's
white
doing.
guy's not
I'll
bad.
use that. Yeah, totally.
You do like
but
that,
I
yeah.
do like it though.
Yeah, no,
do you
I
ever go
can't
to
do it.
Bodmosh?
No, where's that?
That's another good one, dude.
Is it Glendale?
No, it's right across from Cantor's, and they're the kids of a guy that owned an Indian restaurant, and they've kind of like heightened it a little bit.
New age, a
well,
little bit.
it just like hot rodded it a little bit,
Sure.
it made it hipper, but it's real good, man.
By the way, speaking of which, whatever happened to fucking Jewish delis in LA?
Well, they all died to people.
Isn't that crazy?
That's just people die. For deli to be good, it has to have turnover.
Yeah.
And nobody, like, there's a whole generations of Jews don't even think about it. I think I'm probably the last generation that grew up with at least grandparents who were deli people.
Yeah.
And then my parents, like, they could take it or leave it. And so my generation is kind of
You don't give a shit either, huh?
No, I do.
Oh, you still do.
Like, I go to Cantor's. I love sitting in Cantor's. I worked at a Jewish deli in Boston 1 year when I was doing comedy on my own. The first year after college, it was crazy, dude.
I love it.
It was in Boston. They had a different approach to the real Jewish deli. They have 4 kinds of rye bread. 4 kinds.
I didn't even know there is. I thought there was just one.
Well, there's dark,
Right.
Right. There's light, and there's dark with seeds, or there's pumpernickel. So there's actually 4, but you didn't have a word for them.
Right.
It was just sort of like a pumpernickel bread. But like in Boston, you had sisal rye, you had light rye, you had dark rye, and then you had pumpernickel. There's 4 different fucking kinds, and sisal's just seeded rye. But it was. I kind of fucking loved that job because it was really a parade like of a type of old Jew that like wasn't normal like New York.
Right.
Because it was like a lot of working class Jews that were old guys. And a lot of times you don't conceive that, there were Jewish policemen or
Sure.
Jewish, and the plumbers and, but of course there were.
Right.
But like in your mind, they're always like, doctors or old retired rich people. But these were all working class old Jewish cops and stuff. And it was great.
What was your favorite in LA?
Well,
Has it always been Cantor's?
Cantor's goes in and out.
Yeah.
Like there was a period there where it wasn't good. I was never a Langer's guy because it's filthy.
Everybody loved Langer's. That was like the spot for everybody.
Just for
though.
pastrami.
Yeah, it is
And I'm
really
like
good.
I really like Jewish brisket, but it's hard to find it where it's not dry.
There used to be a place called Junior's on the west
No,
side.
I know Junior's over in on Pico or in Santa Monica.
It's far gone now.
That was great.
Yeah,
that was
something
good.
else now.
And there was Nate Now's was okay.
It's still humming along.
Yeah, but Cantor's now does a vegan Reuben, dude.
What?
It's crazy. And it's crazy.
It's
There's
good, though?
one company that makes vegan pastrami.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's wheat based or soy based, but it's the texture, but it's all the spices, so it's good enough.
Sure.
And they'll make the Reuben. If you want it vegan, you can get it's Goldfarb's vegan pastrami. You can get that. They'll put the sauerkraut on, and if you don't want cheese, they'll put avocado, and they got a vegan Russian dressing, and they'll grill it. That's the whole thing. It's
Yeah,
the grilled
that
thing.
smash, yeah.
I'll fucking go do that.
That's that, and it's got the texture though, because that's
It's
hard
texture.
to emulate.
It's great.
That's the thing. If
Yeah,
they can
yeah,
get
yeah.
that right.
I think Cantor's is okay now. I think Langer's is probably better pastrami, but I like the whole vibe of Cantor's.
You never went to Greenblatt's, did you?
Yeah, a couple of times back when I was a doorman, but it was never felt like a real deli to me.
Yeah, it felt kind of like
It was
a wine,
like hot food
It
thing.
was like a wine shop
yeah,
with
yeah,
hot
yeah,
food
yeah,
to go.
yeah. The hot food to go thing. It didn't really do it for me.
That's not my thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely a.
Then what are you
an old
spoiling
deli
yourself
guy.
with now? What's your bad boy meal when you're gonna not be?
Well, that Reuben's pretty bad. I miss eating the fucking sweets. I used to like that chocolate. I love chocolate babka, that Russian coffee cake. You know, that's layered. Like they have that over there.
Yeah,
Canada.
that's.
I still
fatty
plow
shit.
through a pint of ice cream. I like that. And sometimes vegan chocolate cakes are better than non-vegan chocolate cakes. There's some places that can make a chocolate cake that's
Moist
like,
enough where it tricks you.
Totally, dude. Totally. They just load it up with oil.
See, you don't seem like a rip through a pint of ice cream on a night alone guy.
I used to do a whole fucking bit about that. Oh yeah, dude, totally. Because I got off drugs. What else are you gonna do, man?
Yeah, sugar is the replacement, isn't it?
Well, what was that bit I do? Like, everyone's got demons, and I used to do this. It used to be that one that would come out and go, "Woo, let's go get an 8-ball, some booze, and some pussy." and now that guy's sort of like, "Oh, that's some ice cream and a porno. That'd be good."
You want some Rocky Road, dude, and some
Exactly.
soft porn?
Yeah.
In here, we pour whiskey.
Hey, finances are messy. They're confusing. A lot of times it's hard to track where you're spending, what you're spending on, especially if you're out there, you're young, you're having fun. That's where Monarch Money comes into play. Don't just manage your money, start building wealth with 50% off your first year for our listeners. It's more than your averaging budgeting app, more than just that average budgeting app. Monarch Money is a complete financial command center for your accounts, investments, and your goals. Okay, they help me out. It's actually pretty impressive what they're able to do. It's a finance tool people actually love and can use. There's over 1 million households using it right now, and Wall Street Journal named it the best budgeting app of 2025. That's this year. Why not learn to budget? You know where your money's going. It's going to help you organize without any hassle, know where your money stands, track your spending and savings and investments effortlessly so you can focus on what matters, making your biggest life goals a reality, having fun, enjoying life and the ride instead of just hoping for the future. They can help you get that done. You can even share access with a financial advisor or tax professional at zero additional cost. So track your money, all right? Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use the code WHISKEY at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at Monarch Money, MONARCHMONEY, monarchmoney.com with our code WHISKEY. Find out where your money is, track your spending, know what's going on in your world, and get a hold of your finances like I did. And thankfully, Monarch Money, they've got you covered.
Ginger. I like gingers.
You don't have any, there's no devilish bullshit thoughts entering your mind.
Well, no, vaginas. But that's just
human
just
nature.
human nature. And no, there's not that many there's not any real bad things. The Zins are pretty compulsive.
That's probably the bad
But
worst
that, like
thing.
anything I do, even with these, I think I talked to you about that. It's like, you're an addict because, like, if you're an addict, like, I'm finding used Zins under my pillow, stuck to my face when I wake up. They're just all over the place. They're in my yard. It's the equivalent of like empty bottles everywhere. You just don't realize how many you're doing until you start finding
Like, holy
old ones
shit,
everywhere.
they're in my shoes?
Yeah, or you save them. That's my fucked up addict thinking. Like, if I'm chewing nicotine gum or a Zin, I'm like, there's still some stuff in here, but I want to eat something. I'll fucking save it.
So it's not even cheap, it's sad.
It's sad.
Because you could just pick up a new one.
Of
It doesn't
course.
matter. It's like
of
10
course,
cents.
but it's like, no, the stuff's in here, and I gotta.
Yeah, I might as well.
Yeah, keep
might as well
it.
try for a
Yeah,
little bit
keep
later.
The stuff.
Now that's very
It's addict-y.
addict, baby boomer addicty though.
I
too.
guess so. Yeah.
You're
really?
not a boomer. You're not.
I'm 1 year boomer.
But it's are you? No, you're not.
1 year.
You're-
I'm the last year of boomers.
Are you?
But I was brought up pretty Gen X, but I'm the last year of boomers.
Yeah, you're the king Gen X guy. You were the generation that bullied everything that my generation listened to. Because everything our music was.
Well, I
You're
was
the
there.
generation that goes, we have the last great generation of music making.
Kind of, but I was already at the crashing wave. When I was in high school, the music that was coming out was pretty good, but it was all Zeppelin. And by the time I was in high school, they had done all the major ones. When I was in high school, In Through the Outdoor came out, and maybe Presence. But everything that we knew was still from, the early 70s, late 60s, really.
Right.
The music that came out when I was in high school, like, there was a lot of Foreigner going on, Hot-Blooded. But when I was in high school, Van Halen 1 came out. And that was kind of a game
That's
changer.
huge.
That was huge, dude. Because, in Albuquerque, everyone could drive when they were 15. You got your license.
What?
So, you had 14, 9 months learner's permit, 15 driver's license.
Holy shit.
So they had the senior parking lot, and then the rest of us could park over by the Wendy's. But I just remember After Van Halen won, though, just the open doors of the Camaros and shit with their Jensen triaxles just blaring eruption. It was like the entire planet had shifted, you know?
That is cool.
It was great.
I'm trying to think of what that was from my generation. Like, what was the album?
Nirvana came out in the
Nirvana
early
was probably the
90s.
biggest for my childhood of that.
Pearl
like,
Jam.
Pearl Jam, but Nirvana, I think, was so revolutionary.
Just
It was like
ground-
finally kids were like, "Whoa, this is like what we fucking do
That's
and
right.
feel." This is
Was that like 92? I was still into that shit. I wasn't being condescending to any new music. But there was a thing when I was in high school. I was there for the shift because there was always the classic rock and whatever was happening. But early on, disco was still almost kind of alive.
yeah.
And the shift, like when I saw disco leave, because it was interesting, because I grew up in Albuquerque, it's like 70% Latino. And, you know, it went from, you know, like platform shoes and bell bottoms to cholo, like overnight. You know, it was just like the platform shoes were gone. Everyone, bandanas, chinos, you know, I'm like, wow.
Right. Button-up
things are-
shirts.
Exactly.
I would have loved to see you in a cholo wear. You
Yeah.
never dabbled.
No. I can't do that. You know, you got to respect.
You could have pulled it off. You had long hair though. The
But-
pictures of you when you were young are
But
wild.
I remember when New Wave happened. Like punk took a while to kind of get out to the burbs, but New Wave, like when the Knack album came out, everybody running around with those skinny ties and the buttons.
Skinny
and
ties.
I saw that happen, and it was like, all right, I guess the cars happened.
Cars are rad.
Great.
You never liked hair metal. You never liked that shit.
I like it now.
You just did when you were young. You're like,
Not
fuck
hair
this.
metal. I like the heavier metal.
Right.
But no, I was never like Def Leppard was okay early on, but I was never.
Do you like Whitesnake?
No.
Yeah.
No, but the Nuge was around, but that's not hair metal. That's the Nuge.
Yeah.
I ended up seeing the Nuge more times than I needed to because my buddies like the Nuge.
And you were like, we gotta go.
I'm like, all right, I'll go see the Nuge.
I'll get high and
whatever.
go watch with you.
Yeah.
Did bands come through Albuquerque a lot?
Yeah.
They did?
Sure.
Do you play Albuquerque now?
Oh, that was the other band. I talked to Sickler about that. What?
Do you play Albuquerque
It's
now?
hard market. 'cause
I've
you
never played it.
That's because there's really no small theater. Like the chemo kind of is good, but it's kind of hard to get. You got to go through the state, and the only thing they got is a convention center. I think that's like 3,000. Maybe you could sell it. I can't.
Well, why do they? I don't see what.
It's just not. That's because there's no in between. There's one in Santa Fe, the Lenzik. That's a pretty good sized theater for like 800, 1,200, I think.
Sure.
But it goes from nothing to the convention center.
Do you think they do that on purpose, deliberately? They're like, we like to keep it like this. They're not
No, it's
trying
just
to.
a weird market. They just opened I guess they opened a Hyenas there.
Did they?
Yep.
I just don't get it. I feel like every time people are like,
It's a weird market.
Albuquerque has this namesake to it where people are like, no one plays there.
No, I know. But bands definitely came. Like I saw Van Halen kinda. I passed out, but I saw that first tour.
Too fucked up.
Yeah, too fucked up.
What was your first show?
I went with my parents. I think the first show I saw was with my parents. We went to see Frampton.
What?
Yeah,
That's so cool.
it was so funny because I was this must have been junior high, but I was growing I wanted to try to grow pot, but I wasn't really smoking it, but I was seeing a lot of the culture, but I was kind of afraid to do drugs at that time. But I grew this like massive pot plant, and my parents were pretty groovy, so I was just growing this pot plant. I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't even know what to dry it or anything else. But I remember we were at the Frampton concert, and it was me and my parents, probably my brother, and my dad's like, "So you got any of that pot you're growing?" And I did. I tried to roll a joint with it, and I'm like, "Yeah." And I remember we lit it up, and my mom kept going, "Barry, don't, Barry."
Cut it out, Barry.
Yeah.
Don't influence the
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Totally different experience with drugs in my family. My God. It would. You know, the irony is, I got busted smoking pot so much when I was a kid because I was a huge pothead.
Yeah.
And then years later, after like the devil has been taken away from it now, my mom, her sister got cancer, and then it was like she used it for to like eat
Sure.
and for
Yeah,
supplementation
yeah.
for what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And my mom's entire world changed about it. She was like, this is actually very like helpful shit. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck?
I knew that.
I was telling you that years ago. This is good for people. It feels great. You can get sleep. You can eat food. It is funny how, and my dad's still pretty stern, old school, 50s guy.
Yeah.
He's a 50s kid. Anyone born in the 50s was like drugs,
Yeah, bad.
drug bad. And then, but now he's seen how much more culture changed around it, that it was like people who are responsible can use this thing like a drink or whatever.
Sure.
And now, like, my sister and I will get stoned, and he won't care anymore. at the house, and he used to be like so freaked out about it.
Yeah.
Like the cops are gonna come and they'll get you. It's like
Yeah.
no one's gonna come
My
get
parents
us.
are a different generation because my mom had me when she was 22. So that she was 22 in 1963. So when 69, 70, I mean, she's like 28 years old.
She's a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's like 32. So they were kind of in that like swingery zone, trying to be groovy because they were young enough. They weren't 50s parents.
Right.
And they were kind of floating, in that change.
Your parents weren't swingers though.
I don't know.
Whoa.
Somebody was. I know my dad was out doing his business.
Right.
I don't know if it was on the level. I don't know if there was an agreement in place, but I think they were both kind of, I
Just
know my
going-
dad was.
You do?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Did you ever talk about it with your mom?
Well, it took a long time. Like, it was funny because my dad, he's got dementia now, and I'm doing a bit in the special on this, but he's with a woman who's 15 years younger than him, but this woman was his first secretary when we moved to Albuquerque in like 72 or whatever.
Yeah.
And she used to cover for him when he was out doing that.
Oh,
And now
shit.
she's got him. Now she's like, good for you. And, I hope you just keep him until he goes because I don't want to deal with it. But yeah, he was kind of a swinging dick. And I think my mom, I don't know, but she eventually got wind of it and they got divorced when I was in my 30s. I think, yeah.
The dementia thing is tough.
It's weird because he was always kind of a manic bipolar like lunatic, like a lot of back, up and down. And one thing I can tell you about dementia, it does cure the bipolar. he's pretty level now.
Yeah, he's even keeled.
Yeah,
now.
he's pretty even keel, kind of sweet.
90?
No, 86. And he's still got a lot of his memories. He knows me, but a lot of the stuff is just kind of not there anymore. But I see him in the last few times I saw him last week. He's still like when I'm around. The problem is like you don't have any friends, and I think you really need to have people you have regular conversations with, as opposed to just your wife who's like had it. Like
Sick of your shit.
well, just sort of like she's he's still at home and she's stepping up and taking care of him.
Yeah.
But eventually it's sort of like just walk. So it's that tone. There's not like discussion about movies or politics going on. It's like
Get up and go.
you know how to put your shoes on.
Hurry up.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, but it is helpful because
Sure.
you want to keep them active.
Right.
But that's the tone.
Yeah, it's changed.
But when
no,
I get
no
there,
friends though.
no friends, so he doesn't talk to anybody. So when I go, he kind of locks in, and it was funny. He's been pretty engaged and asking questions and remembering things from one, like because I showed him the documentary that Steve Feinart's made about me.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about Lynn dying and everything. And, he's in it, and she's in it for a second. And I showed it, and he processed it. He couldn't hear it that well. But for 3 days after, he's like, oh, it's a shame what happened to you. Terrible, miserable thing happened to you. No luck, that kind of thing. I'm like, I know. The next day, it's like, that's really too bad. I'm like, I know.
Yeah, man, I know.
But he was remembering, so it's good.
Yeah, that's the positive. He's like, I remembered last night that tragedy about your entire life. You're like, oh, that's
Exactly.
great.
Yeah, good.
That's
well,
great.
I'm glad that.
That's
yeah.
my biggest fear is that if anyone in my family starts to lose memory, the only fear I have is that they won't remember my name.
Well, I used
That
to
fucks
do.
me up. Like, they won't remember who I am.
I did a bit about that. I when I started talking about the dementia on the last special, it was the bit was like, I know it's a terrible disease, and I know eventually that my dad's not going to know who I am, and on that day, I will be truly free. I'll be like, "Hey, Dad, who are you?" Yes. I mean,
See you later. Mark, I love you. I appreciate you coming by the show. I could talk to you for 9 hours, but I want to let you go. You're a busy man, and you're a sweet prince for coming by. I know it's hard to get out of your routine to come say hi to me, but it
That's
means
not
the
true.
world.
That's
No,
not
it means
true.
the
we
world.
went on one hike. We can go again.
We could go again.
Yeah.
I'll come over
Do you
there.
hike it? Do you hike it?
I hike. You know what the sad thing is? I used to hike with my dog, but now
Too hot.
she just can't do it. Yeah. She's not even that old, but she just doesn't want to do it.
It's a hard hike, that one. You're one of the few people that can do it.
When we did it, we fucked that thing up.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually liked how hard it was.
Yeah, it's
That's
good.
really tough.
It's a tough one.
And I've taken people there, you know?
Yeah, and they can't.
Well, I just like it that people are
You
like,
get halfway up
Hold
and they're
on.
like-
I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah. It feels really good. But when I saw you fucking it, like Mark was also leading the way when we went, and
Yeah.
he was cruising, man.
Yeah.
You were cruising, and he was showing off a little bit.
Yeah,
because
but
he
I
had
was
done
doing
it before.
like 2 weeks. I was doing it like twice a week that thing.
Not anymore. What are you doing now?
Well,
It's too hot now, though.
it's
Can't go in the
hot,
middle of the summer.
and also like I got a guy go with Dan, but it just gets to be a lot on your body to
Yeah.
do that because we run down. I think we might have done that too.
We did.
Because I can't that whole sidestepping down. Just do it.
No, just
But
go
you
as
know,
hard as
I
you can.
also realize like if I go down, I'm gonna break something.
yeah, that's
you know, like
yeah.
I broke my foot not doing that, but like you don't want to be. You get to a certain age where if you get fucking, injured,
It's real.
it'll fuck you.
Yeah.
And then you won't be able to exercise. You don't know if the other bounce back. The foot, it worked out.
Well, that's why I was scared about ski. I don't ski anymore, and I'm really sad. I wish I could still ski, but I hurt my back so bad years ago. Like I had such a bad back injury that now I'm like, I don't want to ski again because if I get injured skiing, I'll go, see, I should.
Yeah, and you can't have the fear.
Oh, I have it bad.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. But we do the hike occasionally. Generally, I'm doing more. If I need the cardio, I'll do the treadmill. But we'll do it. Sometimes once a week, maybe every couple of weeks. But
All right, well, we'll go hike again.
Yeah. Good seeing you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the end of an era. Will Mark bring back WTF? For sure he will. He says he
when
won't.
are we going to air this? Because I got an HBO special premiering August 1st. Called
August 1st.
Called Panicked.
Panicked. So appropriately titled. It's unbelievable. Go on HBO. And we talked about this for a second off camera about how you said HBO's always been rad to you and they let you kind of do whatever you want. And they were.
Well, they gave me the time, because I still come from the old school where it's like, we're doing an hour. That's the special. That's how long they're supposed to be.
And they're like, just do 35.
No, I
Right.
can't do
It's
it.
funny that's what they want. They don't care now.
Well,
If you-
no,
if
well,
you
they
deliver
want that
anything.
because they've convinced everybody that everyone's a moron that can't pay attention for more than 10 minutes at a time. We're all just whores to the algorithm.
We are.
But I was like, I think I got to do 70. And they were like, okay,
You did 70.
73.
Panicked on HBO August 1st. We can make sure that this is out when it's out. So
Cool.
it happens
Thanks,
in
pal.
real time. I love you. We
Love
end the
you
show the
too.
same way. Look at that camera. Say one word or one phrase to end the episode.
Oh, fuck.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You're that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.